Brian Sozzi, as we've tracked the rotation in the market over really the last couple of weeks, and particularly what happened in the last couple of days, energy has just been on an absolute tear. Now, granted, that's only 2%, I think, of the S&P 500's weighting. Granted, energy stocks have gotten killed for years, but I guess a nice consolation prize for everybody who comes on our shows and pitches energy because they're so cheap.
Right, Myles. I will say not a lot of folks right now on Wall Street are talking about energy. I think a lot of them can't probably read their financial statements of the energy companies. So why even bother mentioning them? But we have seen a pretty strong move in oil since the election. Before the election, it was about $38 a barrel, hit $45 a barrel today. We've also seen some big moves in the oil stocks. Look at ExxonMobil up 13% in the past 5 days. Schlumberger up 17%. Halliburton up 15%. We've seen some big, massive moves. And the reality is here, if you're bullish that a vaccine will help lift the economy, Julie, why not be bullish on oil stocks too?
I guess the question is, when will the economy be lifted? When will the vaccine be distributed? We are seeing rising chatter of maybe a double dip recession or a W, depending on who you ask for their description. The Goldman Sachs bullishness on stocks notwithstanding, stocks don't seem to have gotten the memo, or maybe they have and they've just shrugged it off. But there was a new Bloomberg analysis where they did news keyword density searches and found global mentions of the words double dip, as in double dip recession, went much, much higher. Torsten Slok, who we just had on the show last week, chief economist of Apollo Global Management, was out with a note this morning, also talking about a potential W here. So it's just something to watch. Obviously, we don't know if there would be a double dip recession, but certainly you have to track the economic data to see if there are any hints of that emerging.
And I can't remember who it was, guys. Maybe you guys will remember. Someone was on our program, it was yesterday, the day before, saying there's never been a double dip recession in the history of U.S. economic recoveries. And so it's interesting to see that come up. And I know, Julie, from your time at Bloomberg, those density stories, those density charts are always interesting. I love when uncertainty becomes one that flares up. Something related to Sozzi's talking point on the energy stocks they just wanted to call out is the banks. Obviously, today they're getting killed because I'm supposed to come on here and talk about how well banks have been doing. But through yesterday's close, regional banks were up about 20% over the last 5 trading days. And if you look at, we have some of the majors up on the screen here, but you look what's happened to the KBW Bank Index, the regional bank index. Obviously, steepening yield curve is going to be a part of that. But if we can get an economy that gets back to trend faster than expected, most people, again, banks levered play on the economy, there's sort of your simple case for that.